Today we'll learn how to make a Cantonese fried crab dish seasoned with spring onions and ginger. This way of preparation works best for crabs whose meat is mostly in the shell rather than in the legs. So if you're on the east coast of the United States, think of blue claw crabs rather than a king crab. For our ingredients, we have of course our crabs and some seasonings, including ginger, large green onions or leeks, garlic, oyster sauce, soy sauce, Chinese cooking wine, and salt and pepper to taste. I also have some flour on a plate that I'll use to dust the crab pieces in before frying them. The first step is to clean the crab. To do this, turn the crab over and lift the triangular-shaped tab on the bottom, eventually separating the shell from the base of the crab and pulling the shell off of it. Keep at least one of these shells for a decoration at the end, preferably the biggest. It's just impressive to look at when it's on the plate like that. The next job is to remove everything inside of the crab except for the meat. This means the lungs, the mouth organs, and the orange or yellow stuff. It's not terrible to eat this stuff, but if you like a clean look for your crab, you want to get rid of it. Ideally, you want each of your pieces to be nothing but white. Remove the large claws and then cut the crab in half with a scissor, and for a bigger crab, cut it into quarters. Give the crabs a final rinse before it's time to start cooking. Our next step is to slice the green onions and the ginger. Chop the green onions into roughly 2 to 3 inch long pieces, and slice the ginger. And then we're ready to cook. The first step of the cooking process is to season the fat we'll use to fry the crab in. I'm using about 2 tablespoons of pork fat I rendered from a previous dish, but any sort of oil will work with a high smoke point. Something like coconut oil or vegetable oil should be fine. Here I'm using a cast iron wok, but any large pan will do, even a Dutch oven. I wouldn't recommend using a non-stick pan though because the crab shells will probably scratch it. To season the oil, we simply fry the green onions, ginger, and garlic briefly until they're fragrant. Once they're fragrant, remove them and save them for later. Next, we want to lightly dust the inside of the crab with flour, and add the pieces to the oil. Fry them over high heat, tossing constantly for about 30 seconds before adding a tablespoon or so of the cooking wine, continuously tossing them. Add in another tablespoon or so of water at this point to keep the pan from smoking too much. Next, add in about a teaspoon of oyster sauce and a teaspoon of soy sauce, stirring well. You also might want to add in some black pepper at this time if you're into that. Add back in the green onions, garlic, and ginger and continue tossing. Place your crab shell garnish on top of the pile, add in a few more tablespoons of water, cover, and steam the crab for about 10 to 15 minutes over medium heat, depending on the size of the crab. And that's all there is to it. Plate and serve with the large shell on top.